This Made Media Magazine. This video right here is about Los Angeles gang leader KeefeD. But first, I need everybody to please hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe if you ain't subscribed to my channel, This Made Media Magazine. Now, we all know, man, KeefeD, he done basically self-snitched on himself, as far as doing interviews and putting out a book, you know, and admitting to having his part in the assassination of Tupac Shakur. He had a court date last week, and I'm gonna read this. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, man. All right. The judge allows use of police interview in Tupac Shakur murder trial. This was July 29th. Las Vegas, a Nevada judge ruled on Tuesday that the recording of the interview the man accused in the killing of Tupac Shakur gave the police in 2008 could be used at his upcoming trial. Judge Carly Kearney found that the interview is admissible in Dwayne KeefeD Davis' trial, which is scheduled to start August 10th. Davis, 63 years old, is charged with the murder of Shakur 1996 killing and faced life in prison without parole if convicted. Prosecutors allege Davis orchestrated the killing. Shakur's death is considered one of the most notorious unsolved murders in the United States. The case went cold until Davis began making public statements about it, including in a book he co-wrote in which he said he was in a Cadillac and provided the weapon used to shoot Shakur. Defense attorney Michael Sanf argued that a 2008 interview Davis gave law enforcement was supposed to be confidential and that detectives explicitly told him the interview was not supposed to be used against him. I sang because they promised I would not be prosecuted, Davis wrote in his book, Compton Street Legend. Prosecutors argued there was no basis to exclude the interview from the trial, which is expected to take about 4 weeks. They argued the interview was no longer admissible when Davis chose to write his book and speak publicly about what happened. Davis' attorney unsuccessfully tried to block the use of the book in the upcoming trial, arguing that it was fictionalized to make a profit and impossible to determine which parts, if any, he wrote. Kearney determined Davis adopted the book as his own, citing an interview in which he described the book as the real truth. The 2008 interview was used in former Los Angeles Police Department Detective Greg Hayden's book, Murder Rap, The Untold Story of the Biggie Smalls and Tupac Shakur Murder Investigations. Portions of the recording were also played in documentaries, including the recent documentary Sean Combs' The Reckoning. Shakur was killed September 7, 1996 in Las Vegas. He and Death Row found a man Suge Knight was sitting at a red light when a white Cadillac pulled up beside them near the Las Vegas Strip and gunfire erupted. Shakur was shot multiple times and died 6 days later. Knight survived with minor injuries. 3 others with Davis in the Cadillac include his nephew Orlando Baby Lane Anderson, but Davis is the only person still alive. None of the others faced charges in Shakur's killing before they died. In his memoir, Davis said he obtained a handgun from an associate and tossed it into the back seat of the Cadillac, but did not say who fired the fatal shot. In 2008 interview, Davis described how he and his crew saw Shakur that night and pulled up beside him and said that Anderson popped him. Anderson denied involvement in Shakur's killing at the time. He died 2 years later in an unrelated gang shooting in Compton, California. A witness testified to the grand jury that Anderson didn't have a clear shot, so DeAndre Freaky Smith took the gun and fired. Davis wrote in his book that investigators were clearly shocked and surprised when he began answering questions about Tupac's death. He also expressed regrets about talking to them. It kills me on the inside to know that I told him anything he wrote. So yeah, man, that's right there, man, a piece off of the national and local news. Also, as soon as this dropped, KeefeD also did an interview with the Las Vegas News Channel, where he sat down. You know, a lot that came out of that, man. You know, not to mention during the court date, his son was there. As soon as the judge said that it was admissible to use a 2008 interview, his son made a whole commotion in the court. He was upset, and they told him if he didn't, control himself, he would not be able to, sit during trial. And also, KeefeD said during the interview, he said, I wasn't even in Nevada. He claimed he wasn't even in Nevada when Tupac got killed. Then about the book, he said he got paid $150,000. He didn't write no parts of the book. And then he also said that Suge Knight would tell you that I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So it looked like KeefeD is doing everything he can to get up out the situation, even though he told him himself, you know, as you remember during the Vlad TV interview, he was saying Tupac was breakdancing in the back seat, trying to get away from the bullets. So, we days away from the trial, from the beginning of the trial. Like I said, they will use that 2008 interview. My opinion on the whole situation is, KeefeD made the cook. They finally about to close the cold case, the Tupac Shakur murder case, and, he lived a full life, if you ask me, after he did what he did. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Please hit that like, share this video, and subscribe if you ain't subscribed to my channel, This Made Media Magazine. Shout out to Trenches News. Make sure you get the hottest book out right now, How I Survived Chicago Drill. You can get it directly from Swiper on IG or Nene Marie 37. If you get it directly from them, you get an autographed copy. Always get on Amazon.com. But make sure you get the hottest book out right now, Trenches News, How I Survived Chicago Drill. Shout out to the Mod Squad. I'm out.
If you want to support me, make sure you go and hit Nene Marie 37 inbox if you want a signed copy of my book, man.